Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Why aren't we? How come it's not going live?
I don't know. What's going on out there? Okay, I got a StreamYard here.
It says starting soon, but it won't go live.
I don't know. It might be on a lag.
There it goes.
Okay, cool. Are you going to play the mission statement?
No.
No. Okay, great.
And we're live.
Hi, guys.
How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you for joining us on this Saturday night. Hex Machina is traveling. He's down in Atlantic City, following Limp Bizkit and in some mosh pits, so he's not going to be able to join us. So Lindsay's going to be filling in, and we're gonna do something a little bit different tonight and just kind of talk about just rug pulls. It's been coming up a lot lately, and we thought we would go over it and just talk about some things to look for and some tips.
Yes, I am so excited to share these with you. We get asked this question all the time. How do I know what we're getting into? Can you think of other questions that our clients ask frequently and ways that we kind of coach them through?
They ask kind of they ask us what we look for. So when we're doing research, so I mean at that point, I don't really get that so much. It's more of what projects have you found, and once in a while, how did you find it? And that's where we take kind of a deep dive and want to show some stuff that we think is important, and that I've certainly made mistakes in the past. So making those mistakes is really the only way I feel in crypto to be able to teach people correctly.
Absolutely. And thanks for falling on that sword for us all.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, everyone makes mistakes. No one's perfect. And, people are scared to admit it sometimes. And I'm not, I'll tell everything that's happened, good and bad. And that's how you learn and grow.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so I guess, getting into what I guess a lot of people, now that we're kind of in a bear market and things have been going sideways, people seem to be looking for more of kind of not degenerate, but more risky altcoins to kind of mess around with right now, because there's really not much going on. I mean, so to buy something in the top 20, top 50, I mean, the moves aren't going to be that crazy, but there are some altcoins out there that are doing well. So those are the ones we look for, we try to find, but it's hard.
Yes, it is hard, but that's why we go through everything with a fine-tooth comb, because you want to avoid those landmines. So tonight we're just going to cover a few basic tips. Let's not box this in with 8. I box this in with a little graphic, but I don't want to box this in with 8, because your experience has been most valuable to Vibra Finance. So we could not have done this without you knowing where to start with the research. Thanks for giving us a little bit of a dive.
Yeah, no problem. So I guess a good place to start will kind of be my first rug pull that got me. And this was in 2020. It was a pre-sale for this EcoFi right here, which they were, I forget what they were doing, but it looked great. The art gallery, I remember this now. It's been such a long time since I've looked at it, but so they were looking to come out early into end of 2020. So we found this early 2020, and what they did is, so I was new. I was only a couple of years in, and I'd heard about it through an influencer who was shilling this coin. It was one of the new hit pre-sales that was coming, because this was still back right around the summer of DeFi in 2020, when things were really starting to kind of really get interesting in crypto, and the scams, instead of just the rug pull, pre-sales, the IDOs from 2017, they got a lot more sophisticated. So so how I fell for this was this is the real website, allegedly right here, ecofi.io. But what they did is they made a website, ecofi.com, and they just cloned this entire website. And I never even knew. This was before the .ios and the .finances really became popular, and so it was mostly still .coms then. So it was sending Ethereum in, but ETH was maybe $200 or $300, so it wasn't like I lost a ton. So how it worked was you sent in an Ethereum, and then when they launched at the end of the year, you got 200 coins. And so I sent in the ETH, and it waited a couple months, whatever, 6 months. The coin launched. It actually came through, showed up right in my MetaMask wallet. And when you get pre-sales launch like that, typically the prices jump up and then they spike. So you want to de-risk a little bit, and you want to kind of sell off a little bit of your position, and expect the fall, the dip that's coming. So I logged on into Uniswap, and I connected. I looked to see how much my coins were worth, because 200 was 1 ETH, and my 200 coins were worth 0.02 ETH. So immediately 98% of the liquidity was gone. And at this point, they had shut down the website, and they said, we were having some difficulties, just go to Telegram. And eventually from there, it just kind of phased out. So that was the only pre-sale I had sent money to that got me. So it was not going to the real website. So that is still, I think, a thing today. So when you're looking at a project, so this is on CoinGecko, you can always get the real website, even though I hate these sites. I mean, unfortunately, you have to use them. They do have real information that is necessary. So I go here, and you can find everything about the coin, like I was saying. And this is the new website that launched, but the coin, it's still a scam. I mean, if you look at it, it never actually was a legitimate project. It never did anything. It never actually, they took money and just dumped. Where's the chart here? It's down like 100%. It's down 100% from its all-time high. This was when it got listed on here, but you could see, I mean, it went from $20 down to a fifth of a penny. So it's just, it was bad. So be really careful. Always go to CoinGecko, or now if it is a pre-sale that you're looking at or something new, go in, make sure you're in the Discord, make sure you're in the Telegram, make sure you check on Twitter. Between one of those 3 places, you'll be able to talk to someone from the team, somebody in the community that represents the team. You'll get the information you need. And this really wasn't Discord wasn't really a thing back then. Telegram, it wasn't what it is today. So you won't see this so much, but I wanted to just cover it, because this was the first rug pull that I fell for, and they cloned the website, made a fake one, and had you send ETH, and then it was over.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
well, you landed on your feet.
Yeah, and luckily ETH was only a couple $100 back then, so it wasn't the end of the world.
Early days, and grateful to be making mistakes in early days instead of, now moving forward. But thank you for pointing it out too, that it is important to look at the difference between .com .io, .crypto. There will be so many what's next, .nft. There's so many avenues that you're going to have to really pay attention each and every single every character that's on that screen.
Yeah, especially when unstoppable domains, when we were going through and buying some of the ones the second round, they had .bitcoin, .888, .eth, .zil, I mean, there was 15 of them that you could buy. So it's going to get worse in the future. So just be very careful what you're doing if you're looking into pre-sales, and ask people on Twitter, ask your friends, ask people or just go into the community and ask someone on the team. If it's a new project, they're going to be in there. The team will be in those platforms talking actively, promoting the project. It's necessary now. So
yeah, absolutely. Can you do you have Twitter handy to be able to pull up, maybe show us an example of something? When we're talking about Twitter and going on and going through, it's, we're not just we're looking to make sure that there's more than just retweets of random post, and we're looking to make sure that the engagement is real, that there is actual humanity behind it, because AI, we are going into 3D. Web 3 is not far, and metaverse is just like we're here. So it's important to make sure that who you're in contact with is a real person on the other end of the screen. We follow you not just into Twitter, but into Twitter Spaces. I want to hear your voice too. And TikTok, I want to see your face. And Instagram, I want to hear your voice, see your face. These are things that are important, not only for us to see from devs, but to see from community members too.
Yep.
What are other things that we look for if we're going into Discord? Like the other night when we were invited in, we got into a private meeting and we got to listen to the founder and his team speak. What was that like for you?
That's exactly what you want to see. That's all you can really ask for. And they I would say they hit a home run with it. So what she's talking about is NFT.com. Let me share my screen here. 1 second. They NFT.com, what was it, a week or so ago, they auctioned off domains or keys, sorry, for their new what was it?
Genesis,
Project that they're launching. So Jordan Freed, who's the one who started it, NFT.com, they had a blind auction there was going to be 10,000 total keys. And with that key, you were able to mint 2 profiles, NFT.com/whatever. Hex, someone has NFT.com/cars. They're already starting to sell on OpenSea. But so we made our bids, and fortunately we were able to get one. And they ended up doing a public sale. Oh, that's awesome. That's the key right there.
Glitching out.
Yeah. So they end up trying to sell 10,000 keys. And so they did the 3,000 was a blind auction. You bid a certain amount. No one knew. Someone did 94 ETH was the top bid. And then they took the 3,000 first bid, and whatever that was, everyone paid. So it was 0.5 ETH. So we ended up getting one. And then they had a public sale, and they, I believe, sold another couple thousand of them, and they cut it short. And they said, we're not going to do 10,000. We're going to keep it to 5,000. And it is what it is. And they held a Discord meeting in Discord live with everyone who had minted a key. You were able to connect your wallet to verify you owned it. And we had basically an hour-long AMA. And I think they had it on I don't know if they put it up on the Twitter, but I did see it somewhere. And it was just him talking about the project and how this is going to truly be a community project where if you own a key, you have a vote in what's going to happen and what here it is right here, and the set and what's going to basically where the project is going. And it that's the kind of stuff that is very important. So we listened to it. We took part in it, and Lindsay actually was able to ask a question and talk to the owners and the creators of it, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I want to see when I go into something. I want to know that I'm speaking with a human and knowing that there's true engagement in there, listening to them and having them answer my questions in a truly thoughtful, concise way with having that connection with them going forward is what like establishing this part of the community was all about. And, they followed through on the word with everything. Right. So
yeah,
early days, love seeing this.
Yeah. So and then another thing that when you look on Twitter at something, you want to look to see the engagement. Is the company actually tweeting? Is it a human, or are they just retweeting? So the second, it's that I wouldn't say I got scammed, but I got wrecked. Was this company Game Zone? So last summer was when all of the games and metaverse and everything was going crazy. That was ADA pad, Velis pad, BSC pad. There were pads everywhere launching projects left and right. So I saw how fast, what the opportunity, what it looked like from the outside, and wanted to get in. So I found this Game Zone right here. I looked at it, and it checked off all the boxes.
It had all the boxes. It was a very sneaky one.
Yeah. So that what they they're still doing it right here. So yesterday, this Souls of Meta ICM came out. This stupid game right here. So what they do is they require you to go on their website when you log in. Let me make this full screen here. So you come in, and the website is beautiful. It looks great. Everything is here. It's not sloppy, and it shows you here how. So and also had staking. So the more you put in, the more weight you got for the pre-sales, and the more you basically the more money you dumped in. So it was 10 cents a coin, or I'm sorry, it was $1 a coin when I bought in. So to lock up $20,000, you got 10% of the of what you could, I guess, of the weight of the pool. And I decided to do that. And I went and I bought Game Zone. I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's got 18% when you stake it. So, if the coin goes down 20%, I'll be staking it. I should be getting something back, and it looks great. They have they showed all the game. All these were upcoming. So, or actually no, three. When I jumped in, that was the problem too. I was a little late, so we'll get to that in a second. So I jumped in. There was 3 or 4 that had already gone off, and it was stupid what you were converting and what you were getting. $1 for 83 coins. I mean, 83 coins was getting you almost it was a 40 to 1 about on there. It was getting you about $40 for every one you put in. So after, I watched a couple projects come out. Every day launched. There was people buying them. No problems at all. So I came in and I staked my 20,000 coins, which was almost $20,000 at the time. And as soon as I did that, I locked it up. There is a term and condition here that the second you lock up, if you unstake within 8 weeks, you lose 25%. or I'm sorry, within 8 weeks, you lose 15%. If you unstake within 2 weeks, you lose 25% off the bat. So you lose $5,000 if you unstake your coins within the first 2 weeks. So you're held hostage right away. Never was that anywhere told to me that if that you couldn't unstake and get all your coins back. So
Yeah.
that immediately forced me to be in for a month, which cut the penalty down to 18.5%, I believe, something like that. So I figured, okay, it's 18%. If unstake fee, I'm going to make a ton on these pre-sales. It's not going to matter. So I comes around. The first one I got into was Operant Origins right here, and super excited. I come into it and I find out that I'm only allowed to send in. I'm thinking, okay, I'll send in $400 here, and it's a 40-1 on my money. I'm about to make thousands of dollars here. Like, this is crazy. And what you don't realize is that they cap the amount of money that you're allowed to get to send in. So that pool weight of 10 was really, it meant nothing. So I was allowed to do $40. I'm ready to do a whole a whole ETH worth or Binance worth of like $500-600, and now I'm stuck with $40. So I was like, okay, whatever. At least I'll 40x on this. I'll make at least 1,600. And that is not the case. I come down to my allocation, and you only get a third of the coins when it launches. So now if I unstake early, I'm getting a penalty, and I'm now only getting a third of the coins that I'm supposed to be getting. I'm thinking I'm going to get all of them, and then I'm going to sell them right away and make a huge profit. No. Those coins, you're not even going to get 2/3 of them for another 30 days. So by the time the second round came, I mean, if you go and you look at the chart, it is absolutely. So this was the Twitter. It checked all the criterias. Had
a pretty active community when we're going through it.
Yeah, it did. It literally, you could not tell that it was a bad project. There was nothing I could do. Let's see what's going on here. And sorry about that. So I'm now bummed out a little bit. I'm only going to get a little bit of a little bit, but whatever. It's still going to launch. Well, I go and I claim my coins the day of, and the public sale was 10 o'clock in the morning. So I get my coins an hour before the public sale, and I'm ready to dump them the second that it goes live. Well, little do I know, 10 o'clock rolls around. I go to Pancake Swap. I have everything ready to go. I didn't set my slippage for 12% on Binance. So my transaction failed the first go round. So at first, the 131 coins was going to give me 0.8 Binance, which shocked me to begin with. So I figured, whatever, I'll get almost a Binance off this one. And my transaction fails. And next thing I know, it's down to 0.4 Binance. This is within 30 seconds. So I cranked up the slippage to 16%. Luckily, it went through, and I got about 0.43 Binance, which was maybe $400. So that was my first pre-sale. And now I have to wait another month to get the next third of my coins. Well, from the time it launched in May 8th until June 1st, I mean, the price went down literally 50-60%. So the next round, I got 0.2 BNB. And then the third one, it's less and less and less. So unless you got into this day one and were able to get into every single one of these projects with the maximum allocation, it was a net loss. You could not win. So I'm actually still collecting Katana Inus I still have some to claim. There's still 10,000 left for me to claim, but it's hilarious because this 10,000 is worth $5. So this 80,000 coins is now worth $40, which was 80% of my allocation, worth $40 now. If you look, the chart of Katana Inu is just an absolute joke. And I knew that these games were not they weren't coming out. I mean, I looked at what they were doing, and all they were was basically just digital animations of video games. I mean, you can play this, and it's pathetic. I mean, but that's beyond the point. I mean, I knew it was a scam. There was no gameplay. You could go to a number of websites and literally buy the 5-minute demo for $40.
Yeah.
And just put it on a website.
And that is actually a lot of work, considering that they're just trying to get you in there, but they're continuously posting more projects out there now.
Yep, they are. So let's see the price chart of Katana Inu. So you got 10% of your coins at launch, and then over the next 6 months, 10%. So I got my 10%, and luck. So for this one, remember the last, by the time we did Katana Inu, the slippage was up to 40%.
Yes.
40% I paid for this one here. So when it was all said and done, after all the staking, everything, I put 20 grand into it. I walked out with just under 12. So, and I only missed, I think, four or five of them. I got in. I missed 1, 2, 3. I missed 5. I missed 6 of them.
Yeah.
I got into the Revomon one. I'm pretty sure the NFT thing. And this thing was another scam because all you put it on some marketplace that didn't exist, and there was zero volume. So it was just a complete disaster. So even though this was a legitimate, it checked all the boxes, once you got into it, there was nothing telling you, oh yeah, the unstaking penalty, how that you're only getting 10% of your allocation up front. It was really bad. So that was a huge learning lesson from the game zone. And then just comparing that to, what we experienced with NFT.com, it's night and day.
NFT.com, they really went through and they ticked all the boxes and then continued to follow through with what they promised to do. And that's, yeah.
Yeah. So that was, another thing to, in pre-sales, something to look for. Also, tokenomics also when you're trying to spot a rug pull, that's very important. There was I remember when Dinger and Moon B was talking about a bunch of those coins, the meme coins, the cats and this and that. Well, there was Cat Inu, a Batman Inu, Lindsay Inu. There was every Inu in the world. And there a couple of them, if you weren't careful, you were not able to sell them. Once you bought them, you were able to approve the swap on Uniswap, and then you weren't able to sell them. So if you didn't buy the right contract, because these coins were so new that you could only find them on Nomics, and you could barely find any information. So if you went and you thought you had the right coin, and you bought it, you're stuck with that coin forever. You're not swapping it. So that was so. Oh, and then always another thing to look for in coin. Well, let's look at Batman here. This rug pull here. Let's check it out in Etherscan. So the wallet holders is important. How many are there total? So this coin was been out for over a year, something like that. It has 6 months, and it only has 1,400 or 1,700 holders. That's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
You want 1,700 holders within an hour, within a half hour of launch minimum, and you want to see that going up big time. And so that, and then also, an ether scan is where you want to go to do this. And for every coin, you can find the contract on Nomics or on CoinGecko. It'll always be there, the real contract. And then once you go there on here, come down to holders, and you can see where the coins are. So if you're looking and you see that, 10 wallets hold, each person holds 5% of the coins or something like that, that's a huge red flag. Even I would say 10 holders holding 20 to 25% is a red flag. So the top 10 holders here, I mean, obviously this is the deployer and the null address. So, 7, 12, 15, 18. I mean, you're right up around 20%. So that there's another red flag. The amount of people that, someone dumps their bag, this coin is tanking huge.
Thanks for showing us the back end of that. Well, so if they're not familiar with the ways that they can track these tokens, what other resources are there? So for ETH, we use Etherscan. For Binance,
Binance, it's the same thing as Etherscan. It's just BSC scan. So you can go up to the top here, and this one isn't on. If it was on a network, it would be up in the top here, so you'd be able to check it out on other chains. But another good thing to go to is Rug Doctor.
rugdoctor.io.
I thought, was it IO or there we go. Noobs here. Sorry about that. So this is a great site to come to, and you can basically look and check your coin. You can put the contract in here, and you can look and see how risky it is, and basically, I don't know much about contracts. I'm not technical with it. So this is somewhere where you can go and it'll actually tell you, stuff. Let's look at L share. So this is super high risk contract, source code unverified. 84% of the tokens are in the wallet of the contract deployer. Very likely a rug pull. So I actually just found out about this when we were doing the research for this stream, but it is really cool. You can look up projects. You can look at them up by the type, I believe. It's a cool way to just check out a deeper dive. And then I think the other one was Token Sniffer.
Token Sniffer. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have some hilarious names.
BS Checker is another one.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, BS. Yep, that's a good one. So yeah, you can come here and basically check for rug pulls. You put the contract by name. So let's see what they say about Batman Inu here. Let's put that in and see what comes up. Jeez. Oh boy.
Make you work for that information.
All right, so we got a 0 out of 100. This coin, this is what's fumbling right now. Let's sell all your hex and put it into Batman. This coin is going to below 0, if that's even possible. Not financial advice.
Let's go net negative.
Yeah. So I'm actually curious to see what game zone shows up as in there.
Yeah, you too now.
Now that we were just talking about that.
Game Zone was tough. Like you said, it ticked all the boxes. We went through and but I guess we didn't. I don't know.
We
We were
that was we were trying to chase. We were trying to make we were trying to make 1,000x, which that just shows you it's so hard. It's too good to be true. The people shilling these coins, that I heard about it from an influencer, that I watched, and he even said super shady. But if you do it right, there's money to be made. But was not clear at all. Get in before any of them go. Make sure you do the maximum allocation, or else you're never going to make it back. Stake everything, and then be there at 9:59 with your slippage set above. They said set your slippage, I believe, at 6 or 8%. They warned you. Set your slippage high right early. It's crazy. So I went up. I doubled what they told me to do. They recommended, and it still failed. So there's there's just so many little things like that until you make the mistake, it's here we go, a 0 out of 100.
Yeah, and it'll show you if it's like 80 to 100. It'll show you comparison. It'll do a comparison to between two projects. So it'll show you for you the first example that you pulled up where
See, these are the 80. That's funny. These are all the ones. So if you go to every one of these Twitters, ADA pad, Velas pad, Meta V pad, they are all the same. And all the websites, they all look identical. They just copy and pasted each other. So I mean, I knew these games weren't real, but I still thought I would be able to get in and get in the pre-sales and dump them early enough to make a profit. No, got wrecked. And luckily we did really well in Sologenics and sold that at the top, which got us into this. So it wasn't like a direct wreckage, but it's still horrible for that to happen.
that is horrible.
Yeah, so Meta V pad. This is they're still launching it. I think.
That's why we're here for your financial, entertainment, not advice.
I think I saw a Meta V pad thing when I was scrolling down here that they're
because those fives that you mentioned, those clips that you can purchase are eye catching, and as you're scrolling through Twitter, if that's something if you're a gamer and a trader,
and it's they're just constantly putting these out, and it's let's look at Meta V pad site or Twitter. I mean, look at this. You can't even tell this isn't Game Zone. It's the identical. It's literally they're posting the same stuff, just that they're a different thread. Let's look at Velas pad. Oh boy, literally the same stuff. I mean, all of them they're identical. I mean, they're just retweeting each other at this point. Velas pad retweeting, Meta V pad retweeting them all, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
So that token sniffer, that's a good website to go to actually see if your coin is good. But let's go and check out let's see Ethereum. Oh no, actually we have Ethereum. Yeah, that's a good. Let's check out Ethereum. All right, let's do shit. What's the code for what's the contract for Ethereum? Oh man,
it's all good. You can go wherever you want to go. Ship's fun.
Let's see what we got.
Yep, this is what we do. We go in and we go through it, and I love that you're taking us all the way back in here. Thanks for doing that.
No problem. Yeah, so here we go. Shiba Inu. 60 out of 100. So I mean, those other ones, complete scam. I mean, Shib got a 60, and I mean, a complete meme coin. So these ones got zeros. I mean, this. I mean enough said right there. There's really nothing else. So this is a great tool to look at. If let's see, an altcoin that I just bought that we talked about recently was Dovu, the carbon credit coin.
Mm.
And I actually did not put it in the token sniffer because I didn't know about it at the time.
So we're always doing research. Always. We never know what we're going to discover.
Oh boy, a 15. That's funny. So we're gonna have to really look into Dovu now.
Yeah, what gave it such a low score? The sniff test.
Ownership renounced or source code does not contain an owner contract. Well, okay. Well, I guess they're migrating over to Hashgraph. I don't know if that is anything. That's not good. 95% of liquidity burn locked. Yeah, well, that's funny. I mean, it is brand new. I mean, these carbon credits are actually how's Dovu? See, Dovu is so what? For you guys that don't know, Dovu is they are getting into carbon credits. So if you are a polluter, and in the future, you might have to, once the ISO 2022, 2000, whatever, two standards go into effect in 2023, you may have to offset your footprint. So I know for sure they're going to do this for businesses. They're going to call it the ESG goals. And if you're a business and you've done stuff on the blockchain, they're literally going to take your account and say, all right, these are the addresses that you have. They're going to plug them into here, and they're going to figure out how much you've polluted and how much you need to pay to offset it. So it's really interesting that what's coming. And we were talking about this the other week here. And here's the carbon calculator. So you can actually come to the website and you can click here and you can put your log into MetaMask and actually view your emissions or your
carbon footprint.
Yeah, your footprint. Yeah, which is I'm not going to do that because I don't.
Yeah, don't put your stinker on live TV.
On the hook for staking Hex. I mean, I think that is one of the most polluting smart contracts out there, but it is what it is.
Only for now until Pulse Chain comes out.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go green. Green, go right on up to the right. I'm looking forward to it.
So another thing about the rug pulls is the on Twitter, when you see celebrities shilling shit like this, you got The Game, T-Pain, all rappers that influence Katana Inu. That's probably a red flag if I was to guess.
Well, yeah, go on and check out Soulja Boy's Instagram and check out his YouTube. Is he just on there like Island Boys? Is he on there making cameo? Or is he on there making a cameo, pumping it up, or is he really invested? Does he know the tokenomics of it is
They,
a
they
language.
they're paid to do. They're paid. They're given a tweet and they're paid and they just tweet it and that's it. And then they're able to be used on these websites. But the problem is these guys are all getting sued. Floyd Mayweather's getting sued. Kim Kardashian for Ethereum Max. So
Yeah.
it's all coming back. So when you see celebrities like that, rappers specifically, Kim Kardashian, Island Boys, that's a red flag. So that you stay the hell away from any of that. The celebrities you want to see are not celebrities, but public figures or athletes. This is what you want to see when something is being sponsored or someone sponsors it or is representing a coin or a crypto. We did it right in this community, and I'm proud of the way. I think they took a lot of flack for it, but you know what? If it's your passion and you like NASCAR, I mean, it was something to talk about for a month. It was fun. I had no problem with it. And what do you think about that whole situation?
I know that they went on the ground and that they were face to face and building relationships, and doesn't matter the size of the quote unquote bag that person brings to the table. It was the connections that they went out and made to the table. But I know that some of those bags were quite hefty, so it was worth. It was worth the community engagement and involvement and excitement that it brought to all of us in a time where we saw it pump up and then and then fall down a little bit. Just now we're making our way back up there.
Yeah.
So what else is something that we look for when we're going through? Are you still going through their Twitters?
I was just looking through.
Careful, you get stuck in Twitter sometimes.
But I can't help going through Richard's $10,000 outfits.
Fire.
See what he's got. Oh, Dolce and Gabbana. Oh, is that a tiger?
I didn't like cats. What's up?
Oh my God, it's a tiger. That's hilarious. He knows he just looks hilarious. Where's the white? Where's the white and black? Here it is. Look at this thing.
Exactly. Network scams. Oh, the panda.
That's
great. I appreciate that. It looks warm. Good.
Yeah.
I love making snowsuit. I'm digging it, Richard.
Yeah. Also, tokenomics too. That's something that I would say is important when you're looking at a coin. Look at and see not only the holders, but in Game Zone in the pre-sales. If you're buying into a pre-sale, how much are you getting at launch? How much is the lockup period for the liquidity? If there's no lockup, extreme red flag. You want to see a transparent team. You want to see them locking up their liquidity for at least a couple of years, I would say. Anytime you see a team that's anonymous, definitely a red flag, 100%. And again, not to change subjects, but it's Kevin O'Leary is into the NFT.com Genesis keys. They gave him one, which was, I think, a brilliant idea. He's all over, he's one of the crypto gurus now in the mainstream media, which is hilarious. But he's mentioning H-bar subtly. If you watch some of his interviews, and he's saying that, Bitcoin is probably not the answer. It's failed. This is all software. And he's shouting that I don't know if he's talking about him because he has an incentive to with this key, but I heard him talking about H-bar well before I knew about the NFT.com keys. So, he has his key, and I think, maybe we have a chance of meeting him someday.
Key follow key. What else about getting into tokenomics and getting into the background of some of these projects, we're really looking into the developer on the back end of it too. Who's supporting it? Who are the developers? Who are they? How many of them are there on the team? How long have these devs been working on these projects? You know, we want to see something. I mean, can you tell us where a good sweet spot is to see a project moving forward? Like, you don't want to see something that's moving forward after 10 days. You want to, you want to see it moving along 10 months at a time, a year at a time. Like, where do you find a sweet spot with these?
Transparency, one, a team that is completely transparent, not avatars showing, or just with hilarious names. I like to, I want to come up and I want to see, like with Sologenic, for example. Shout out T Money for the interview you did with, I think, Martin or Martin. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, but from Sologenics. Hopefully, I want to meet him at PulseCon and find out more. We were in this early, but they're all them being so open with the code. You can come in and you can basically talk to the devs if you want.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, basically you can chat, like not they're hackathons. If there's something you can offer, they want to hear from you. The team.
Yeah, they're accessible to their community. You can go on and ask them a question and get a real
Yeah.
answer from them. And then also, like when T Money did the interview, you're getting to see that real person face to face. So that's what we like to see with that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and the bounty programs too. I like that. That way you can, you want people outside your project vetting it. They are looking at the code. How we're all using the PulseX testnet, the Pulse Chain testnet to try to figure out what we're going to do with it when it launches. I'm sure there's people that are finding glitches, finding bugs. Without testing it like that, you can't. You're probably not going to be as successful as someone that does. So I really like that. It just, the more you can get out early, the more people are playing with it, the less chance of something going wrong later is. And then obviously audits, you want to make, if it's not audited, major red flag. And then check to see who the auditors are.
It's an expensive process. So if you're looking at a project and it has an audit, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a red flag. It might have a small market cap, like check back in the audits. But I just wanted to throw that out there. Just because it doesn't have an audit doesn't necessarily mean it's garbage right away. That's not financial advice. It's just entertainment purpose. Throwing that out there.
Sorry, I'm just reading Mobius's thing here about the Evenless chain. Reclaim, haven't researched it yet much.
What's up, Mobius? Thanks for coming tonight. Thanks, Scott, for being here. Thanks everyone else for being in the chat.
Yeah, if you've got rugged, you got tokens on the claim. So I wonder if that's similar to Vulcan Forge, which is a gaming studio that I was invested in, and they got hacked, and they just airdropped everybody their coins on Matic except the hackers' coins. So they basically just switched networks, and it tanked. It killed the project temporarily. I think it'll still come back, but I'm going to definitely look into that. Mobius, appreciate that. So Sologenics, just looking at the team, Bob Ross. I've been watching his interviews like crazy. Where's the guy that Mauricio? Okay, that's who. This is who T Money had an interview with, the business development manager. So I believe he's going to PulseCon, which would be great to meet these guys, and just vetting these. So I had seen a project where they actually put a website together and just put people from like real positions in real life that had nothing to do with the project and said these guys were now on board with this project. And they took this guy's picture and said his name was like Frank Johnson or something, and literally copied a real person. It's crazy some of the stuff you'll see. So definitely check these guys out. Look them up on LinkedIn. Look them up on Twitter. See who they are.
And if you have questions, note how they respond. That's one other thing that is when we go into Discord, we're looking for the disposition of the developers that we're looking into, the community around it. How are they treating you when you're asking questions?
Yeah, 100%. That is definitely something that I would encourage. If you're in there asking, we saw it a little bit with the Pulse chain chats early. Anyone that was coming in and had any not criticisms, but constructive criticism. They were just like banned or whatever. Obviously, you don't want to give that look. I've seen a lot of. I'm in several Telegram groups with different communities, and when you see, people asking, very good questions and getting snarky responses, or just something doesn't feel right, your gut is probably right. The NFT.com community that the Discord group we're in, I mean, they're in there all day. I mean, the founders are in there. They're doing AMAs. That's the stuff that you want to see. Versus.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the Hexagon community, a lot of the support for the growth and well-being of the community foundation as a whole. We're all there for the same reason, but to make it a place where you want to, invest your time into, so to speak.
Yeah, I can't wait. I know the eventual goal for NFT.com is to move over to Hedera HBAR, to Hedera Hashgraph, but I can't wait to ask them in the next month or two. Hey, what about the Genesis keys that we're getting on Pulse Chain?
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see what they say about that. Are we gonna be able to have two? Or are you gonna cut the I'm curious to see what they do with that. It's gonna be interesting.
Ooh, that's a good question. That would be a good one to good question.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. And I mean, NFTs, they're gonna be so big. I know Richard, JPEGs right now, I completely agree. If you're buying a JPEG for whatever, and it has no utility, if it doesn't unlock something, if it's not like the saucer swap we talked about a couple of streams ago, which is the Pulse X of HBAR that's launching. It's going to be the first DEX. They're getting audited right now. They did their pre-sales as an NFT. So you bought the NFT that gives you an airdrop eligibility. So that was something cool. But you're going to start seeing so much more just integration into real life with the way, I just saw something that where the first house was bought with an NFT, a house was bought with Bitcoin. I mean, you're really starting to see slowly where this is going to go. I mean, everything is going to be NFTs. It just makes sense. I mean, the Kraken here, they're coming out with their giant marketplace. I got this email. So just JPEGs like these are pointless. But if you're buying an NFT that, in the future gives you access to certain airdrops, certain whatever, if it's a utility NFT, that's separate. But if it's just a stupid picture, 100%, I agree. It's a bubble. It's money laundering, and it's very few of them have communities that actually, are going to stay and sustain.
Yeah.
But you're going to start seeing just in general the exchanges have huge NFT marketplaces, and just businesses, and Nike and major retail brands.
Louis is coming.
Yeah, I don't know, you and Crypto Stylist were talking about that, and your
Oh
stream.
gosh, that was so
That was
fun.
really cool to see.
I could talk to her all day about that. That was so fun. Absolutely. But that's important when you talk about that. We are getting copies of our ERC-20. So and we're going to have the mass floodgates open. And it's important that, we do know how to do our research. And if you don't know how to research, then at least you have a trusted community to go back to and ask questions.
Yeah,
Ooh, tell us more about Ripple here.
yeah. Well, I just like clicked the wrong tab by accident because I was the NFT thing. So with the NFT.com thing that we were doing, we got Ripple is hosting an NFT, not hosting, sponsoring an NFT event in New York City. It's a 3-day seminar in June, and the NFT.com crew is going to be there. So if you own a Genesis key, they're going to do some kind of in person, everyone meet, kind of like the Hex meetup in Vegas.
Yeah.
They're going to try to do that. So it's fun to be in other stuff, other not shit coins, but other projects while we're just waiting for Pulse Chain and Pulse X and Staked and Hex. We've learned how to hold and how to find other assets that provide you yield or have tremendous potential in the future. The carbon credit stuff, the ISO standards coming. There's already coins that are approved for 7 coins approved for that standard, which is going it by the end of this year. Europe has to be following it. It's coming to the United States next year. So by 2023, carbon credits and your carbon emissions are going to be a thing. So if we're using Pulse Chain, not conducting on Ethereum, the amount we're going to be responsible for is going to be pennies. And it's going to be the big businesses, banks, institutions that are running on Ethereum that are going to have to pay these major, I don't know if they're fines, but they're going to have to pay Dovu or cost something to offset what they're polluting.
Yeah. They're going to have to pay some sort of credit. Oof.
Yeah. It's got 100%, Scott. NFTs with utility, 100%. I own very few, to be honest. I maybe 6 total, and all of them are utility airdrops, future coins, future discounts, future benefits. But the stuff that I think is going to be really cool is when you start seeing instead of having a physical driver's license and, oh God, did I leave my license somewhere? How nice would it be to have it on your phone, literally as just as an NFT smart contract that has your license in it, your passport, all the stuff that you're worried about losing or you need to keep in a safe. A lot of that stuff will be digitized, and then just how much stuff is going to be tokenized in the real world. We were talking about it last week with Goldman Sachs and how they're trying to tokenize $700 trillion in assets, from buildings to cars to ownership in high-end watches, Pokemon. I mean,
Solo tokenizing, the tokenization of stocks, being able to trade 24/7.
yep. Yeah, I think what was it? I think it's Liquid Marketplace. I think it's the one that Logan Paul is doing. Yeah. So basically, they are they buy like one of one $5 million Pokemon card, a Michael Jordan, rookie that's worth $1 million. And then if you buy the coins, you can buy into the actual, cards. So say you want this piece of this Pokemon Illustrator card. you buy a certain amount of coins, you can now get into that. What's the mark? What was the value of that? Well, yeah, $1.2 million for this card. So, they probably do, I don't know, $25 or $100 lots. So now, you know, if they did $100 ones, you now have 100 million people that could own a piece of that card that could potentially be in a community all sharing the same common, owning the same thing. I mean, the where this can go is going to be massive. I mean, every sports team, if you like the Buffalo Bills, you'll be able to probably buy Buffalo Bills coin. And with that coin, if you buy a certain amount, you get access to Josh Allen or, all I know sports tickets, all of them are going to be NFTs. So, on your phone, you're going to get an NFT for that game. No more fake tickets. All that is gone. It eliminates all of that. So there's going to be a lot of cool stuff that comes from this, but there's also going to be the garbage right now that is,
through it.
out.
We're here, right? We're here to do the research and present things that we find of interest to those who are willing to show up and watch us. So Molly's out there. Thanks for showing up tonight, Molly. You're right. And if NFTs will change the game, they already are. Ownership on chain.
Exactly. That's huge. It actually, people that get it, they get what that means. I mean, you could take a screenshot of something, but there's going to be there's going to be ways of like NFT.com, ways of holding multiple, say I buy a piece into this Charizard right here. And how do I show it off? How does anyone know I own a piece of that? Well, you need a digital profile that shows all the stuff you own. And that's coming. There's going to be places where you're going to be able to flex your Louis metaverse glasses or your Pokemon card that you own a piece of, or your, and Saucer Swap Genesis NFTs or the NFT.com Genesis key. There's so much that's coming with this. I'm not shilling liquid marketplace at all. I was just using this as an example of like tokenizing what they're doing. Like this is just sports cards. Now imagine, the car that wins the Daytona 500, the golf ball that Tiger Woods won the Masters with, there's so much stuff that people aren't even thinking of right now that is going to be, digitized. What the next NBA game, someone hits a game-winning three, they take that ball and they sign it. Now, 10,000 people can own a piece of that, and then it's going to create its own community with that. So there's going to be so many different communities. Are you starting to like the Discords and the Hex community? You're going to see it with sports teams, with musicians, with celebrities, with everybody that already is their own brand is going to be able to monetize it in a completely different way. It's going to be so cool to see once it's done.
Jordan jumping on. Michael Jordan just signed on to get his NFTs on a marketplace.
Yeah.
Creating
Scott, you're 100% right. It lets more people into how many people can afford to spend $1.2 million on a Pokemon card? 10, but how many people can buy that coin for 10 cents and then put 500 coins in there, and now you own a piece of it and you get your own NFT of that card and you can show it off. And how many kids play these stupid games that have swords and shields and all this stuff that is useless once you beat the game? Well, what if now you can take that sword that you beat this other game with, carry it over to this metaverse, add some Louis wrap to it or some Prada whatever, and now it's just the opportunity. I mean, it's endless, the opportunity. And
I love that not only enables you to be the investor, but also the owner too. You don't have to fight to choose one these days. You're going to be able to sell digitalized assets on your own marketplace, connecting you peer to peer, truly a trustless, here we are, peer to peer system. Oh boy. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Wanted to check the blood. So
Yes.
Algorand pumping because of the FIFA news that they are going to be doing the NFTs for FIFA, and that will be on the Algorand blockchain. As so is the Chivo wallet, I believe, though in El Salvador. I think that it's that one of the networks down there, the wallets. It doesn't even run on Lightning, the Bitcoin wallets. It all runs on Algorand. They are so tied in with MIT and Gary Gensler that that Algorand is a and once again Algorand is already ISO 20022 whatever that shit is. It's already approved, and all the coins on that list that are approved are now, I think, legal tender in Panama and a couple other countries. So it's going to happen once CBDCs come out. Once the Ripple lawsuit comes out. I was reading this earlier. That was the Ripple report that I had out. I don't know where it went. I lost that, but I was in the bubbles. Sorry. So I was just reading through the report of Ripple. So they have been sued by the SEC for the last, it's been since November, almost December of 2020. So about 16 months. They've been 17 months. The coin's been frozen. They've been sued by the SEC. And just reading through this report, you can download it on their website. It's free on there at ripple.com. And just looking at the growth that they've had while being stifled in the United States. I mean, they're doing so much around the world, in Japan and in like the Middle Eastern corridors and the one of the other Asian corridors, the APAC region of Asian Pacific over there, and Latin America too. That's right. It's crazy. I'm not going to go through this all, but they're talking about also NFTs here because Ripple or XRP's about to launch their XLS 20D, which is basically the same thing as Ethereum's NFTs, the ERC 721s. So those are about to go live. And you were talking about Michael Jordan a minute ago, and he chose to release his NFT collection on Sologenic. Well, I don't know if it's Sologenics yet, but it's the XRP ledger. So I'm guessing it's going to be Sologenics. But why is Michael Jordan? How did he know to choose Ripple or XRP to launch his NFT?
That's a very good question.
Say he doesn't know, and he can't pick up a call off the phone and call someone to get inside information. If that wasn't even possible, I mean, Ethereum's not the answer. The ape land sale just destroyed Ethereum. Solana's been down 5 times. That's not possible. That's not the answer. I mean,
And then looking for greener solutions too. That's
100%. That whole other side, this is what I was looking for right here. So coming off our best year yet, RippleNet ended Q1 with record high numbers and customer demand right here. So this is their on-demand liquidity beyond remittances. I mean, look at this. This is 3 months. Reach 15 billion. I mean, they're growing like crazy. 8x year over year. I'm incredibly proud to see half of the customers using ODL today upgraded their services from fiat only, a testament to ODL's product market fit and the vision we had from day one. I mean, these guys have been working with banks, businesses, the SEC, the World Economic Forum, the IMF for 10 years now almost. So Ripple is not going anywhere. Ripple is not XRP. The XRP ledger is not Ripple. They are two completely different things. Ripple Labs, you can only get right now on Link 2, which is a accredited investor site only. It sucks. You have to be accredited, but if you are, you can buy Ripple stock right now. I think it's $48 a share, something like that. I know it's $48.50 actually. I was in here the other day, but so they had Coinbase for $10 two summers ago, and it launched at 350, 360. I mean, it's insane. I mean, they still show portfolio. Coinbase.
That the Guy Raz did a podcast, How I Built This, with the CEO of Coinbase, and that is a fantastic listen if you have a few minutes.
What was it?
The podcast that Guy Raz did, How I Built This, he covered the CEO of Coinbase and how he got started with all of it. It was but like you were saying, like Link 2 goes and they're looking into these tech companies, and they're not looking into like these little startups either. They're looking into like billion-dollar startups.
Yes, exactly. They only look at unicorns. Mm-hmm. So that's a unicorn is $1 billion or more company. So these are the 6 that they've launched already. And just Coinbase was $10, and I don't know. SoFi, they just hosted the Super Bowl in Los Angeles, so you could have bought into SoFi, Robinhood, Coinbase. That was the round a couple of years ago, but right now, you can get into blockchain investors here. BlockFi, love them. Dapper Labs, they have all of the licenses for NBA Top Shot here. So they're going to be doing all the NBA NFTs. That's just going to be massive. They did Crypto Kitties. So these guys know what they're doing. There's a handful of them. So if you are accredited, Uphold, how many people use Uphold Wallet? I know a lot of people that use it. So this is a great tool that you can have basically indirect access to crypto without investing in it. So these they're all different
that's great options to diversify your portfolio. Thank you for showing us all that.
No problem. So it tells you, Link 2 you can buy actually here, the fintech, digital assets, software, marketing, e-commerce. So this. And when you log in, it tells you all the financials, what they're currently valued at, what you're buying it at, what they're planning on launching or going public at. And all the valuations of going public are at least 2 to 3x, which is conservative. And then once you start buying on here, there's all kinds of incentives for once you buy $50,000 worth, you start getting percentages off your purchases. So it's a rigged game, unfortunately. But if you are Kraken, also love that. They're about to launch a massive headquarters in Abu Dhabi or Dubai. So Kraken came on here couple months before that massive news broke. So what perfect timing, coincidentally. So Link 2, awesome platform if you want stocks or pre-sales to fintech companies, online Barrow Bank. They're a crypto bank.
You're giving away so many sneak peeks of our tips for our stream on Tuesday. I'm getting really excited about it.
But unfortunately, it's just for a very select few people. But the Hex community in the next couple of years, we're all, I mean, 2 to 3 years staked. And I think you have a good chance of being accredited. You
Yeah,
know,
that's exactly why we're starting to talk about it now so that we can start making our community aware. And, when you're ready to diversify your portfolio, these are things that you're going to want to know about, right?
100%.
And like as we're going through and showing them how to, protect themselves from these projects that are coming onto Pulse Chain and giving them, just like a few basic tips and walking them through. Like you're getting us all excited about staking and what brought you to knowing it that your financial strategy, right, is to have diamond hands, holding, staking. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I mean, it's not. I mean, I'm sure there's strategy, there's ways of doing it better.
I'm just kidding. You got to save that for our stream on Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna talk about it then, and just kind of I've seen the most hyper aggressive degenerates trading on leverage to some of my friends who I'll just text them and just say, "Hey, buy this," and they honestly have no clue what they own, but they have big, deep, big portfolios of crypto from very small buys. I mean, I'm talking Matic at a penny and staking it for 5.5%. So on Ethereum 2 years ago got you 30,000 Matic. So you staked that at 5%, and now it just dropped down to $1 after a 60% dip. I mean that one ETH turns into hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean it's crazy. So we try to now take the same research and stuff that we use to find, Matic, to find Hex, to find, Civic early, to find Gnosis early, to find all these great projects before they pumped up. Zilliqa, we had it staked at a penny, waiting for now when they're about to launch their metaverse. Metopolis, it's coming this year. So this is the time to buy. We'll talk about that on Tuesday, and
Just
and
educational, not financial. Mhm. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm actually really excited about our stream on Tuesday, talking about bringing in strategy and and passive income or staking and solutions.
yeah. This is also really bullish for anyone that likes Ripple. If you look at a dollar bill in your pocket, there's a good chance there's a signature on it from a woman named Rosie Rios, and she is now the she was at Ripple, and she's now I don't know. I'm pretty sure I don't know where she is now, but she was at Ripple, or she's on the board of directors. I just saw it recently, but I'm gonna look into it more. But just seeing the powerhouses, the people on the team at Ripple, it's crazy. I mean, they literally have half of the SEC working for them now.
I know,
So
I know. It is exciting.
it is, and not financial advice, but it is. If you're accredited, it is. You can get Ripple. They do have um, some. There's not much left, but I don't know what series they're on now. I would
If you
say,
don't know how to get started with it,
yeah. I mean, this lawsuit could end, but the thing is, if the lawsuit was going to end, they wouldn't have in the next month or two. They wouldn't have this up for sale still. So this tells me that it's still going to drag out another 6 months or so. But when you see Ripple taken down off here, get ready for the lawsuit to end probably and then very shortly, and that's when I think we'll see fireworks with XRP, and that will probably be the sell the news of this cycle, and then we should be going into a bear market.
hmm.
But
Interesting to watch it unfold. That's for sure. Well, we're almost out of time. Is there anything else you wanted to cover before we wrap up with like anything noticeable scams besides, the obvious things, watching for plagiarism when you go to a website and looking at their white papers, making sure that there's more than, 10 pages of white paper. Anybody can get through 10 pages.
Moon B did a really good interview with Crypto Kindness a week or two ago, and he was talking about coins that he bought that doesn't even have a website. And he was like, I know they don't, they're degen plays, but I mean, think about that. People are really buying coins and making money off of them, and they don't even have a website. So, if you do research, look into the team, look into the Twitter, look into Discord, look into Telegram. I mean, unfortunately, that's where you just have to do it. It's where we look at Pulse and Hex. If you want to talk to developers, if you want to talk, you have to go into the Telegram or Discord.
And you can test it. You can test Pulse Chain. We're already on V3. So here, we've been testing and testing.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, all the tokenomics, look at tokenomics of a project, especially the stuff coming to Pulse Chain. Look at the supply. Look at how long, if there's 50 million coins, are they going to be released in 6 months? Are they going to be released at once? Are half of them locked up to be released slowly over time? Stuff like that's important. The team is very important. Who's running it? I'm trying to think. Wallet holders and transactions. Make sure that there's buys and sells, not just approves only. That means all these people bought the coin and then they're trying to sell it, but it's the kind that once you buy, you can't sell. You're stuck with. I could go and I'll probably look through my wallet later and find the one that I may or may not have got Hex Machina involved in, or it might have been vice versa. But we have fun, so yeah. That's really all that I could think of. I'm sure I probably missed something, but yeah, that's. I think that's it.
No, I think you covered everything, and thank you for walking us down so deep in through the back end of some of these too.
Yeah, no problem. There's gonna be a lot of stuff coming to Pulse Chain. Look at how much criticism Pulse Doge took. Hex Info got crushed on Twitter being a scammer for a day.
Yeah.
He didn't do the best job, advertising, getting it out there. He probably thought he was going to surprise the community. And, this code was, I could see what he was thinking. But there's going to be a lot of stuff coming. So just knowing what to look for if you're thinking about, there's going to be a lot of sacrifices, a lot of pre-sales. I'm doing it now in Hedera a little bit, and just even people that get audits. Even they can be shady companies doing the audits. There's a lot of research you got to do, but these were hopefully just some, just general stuff where to start, and then if your gut tells you something is off or you feel something is off, you're probably right. Something is probably not right. And ask someone or just step back and take a break from it, come back to it tomorrow. There's no reason to FOMO.
No reason to FOMO. You're absolutely right. Step back, put the computer aside, put the phone aside, whatever method of madness you're using in that moment. Take a deep breath and come back to it when you're not feeling that rush of panic.
Exactly. You can turn on, you open your app and read that XRP is about to be banned. They're about to lose the lawsuit. It's all over. And then you come in, you read a tweet from someone who actually works at Ripple, and you realize that their growth is, they're doing $6 trillion a day in cross-border payments right now. And right here. I'm sorry. these markets collectively represent 62% of the $700 billion remittance market and 86% of the $6 trillion a day global FX market. So, I mean, the coin is getting crushed. The the FUD is crazy. The lawsuit's going to last for 6 more years, but they're doing amazing things. So pretty soon the nonstop FUD and the shit coins will phase out, and the stuff that has utility and serves a function the cream will rise to the top.
Yeah.
It'll weed out.
And that's a valuable service that we do provide, and not just like to our clients, but like for our friends and our family too, is getting out there and digging in and doing the research and vetting these projects. And we're going to get an influx of crypto. Panda put it like, he really had a great analogy for that. Pulse chain is like, an airport, and we're going to have so many planes landing. Just because that plane is landed in your garage don't click every airdrop. Don't get greedy. Do your research before you click them. Once they're in that, once you give them access, they've got access, and that might not necessarily be something that you are so happy that you added to in the future.
That's a good point there, Mobius. That's hilarious. You're the man. Thank you for being here from day one. I appreciate it. But you were saying with the scam coins, be careful. Like in your ledger or even Coinbase wallet now on my iPhone, it will show my Binance chain address. So all of a sudden, I'm getting all these scam coins sent to my Binance wallet, but I don't see them anywhere, even on MetaMask, unless I go to Binance chain. But now they're showing up in Coinbase wallet, and I don't know how to get Binance to separate Binance from ETH. So if, say, I went in there and I was sick of looking at 88888.com coin, you go to send it out of there, and all that, you trying to send one of those coins out can literally wipe your account. So if you're on your ledger, if you see some coin that got sent to you, or on MetaMask or in anywhere, do not send it anywhere. Go on Etherscan first. If you're going to send it, make sure it's a real contract. There's holders, there's swaps, sells, transfers, everything. And do not just be like, I'm sick of looking at this stupid coin. I'm just going to send it off somewhere. That's what they want you to do. And you sending it and clicking send will sign a contract to literally wipe your wallet. I've done it before. And when I first got a ledger and I sent some Ethereum, or I sent XRP over to it. This is when years ago when XRP was going to $10,000 and I was never selling it. I had my XRP on my ledger, and I had some Ethereum and whatever else on there. And I got this, I don't remember the name of it, like, Vamos coin or something.
Ooh.
And it literally was, it just drove me crazy. Every time I opened up Ledger Live, I saw my Ripple, I saw my Ethereum, my Chainlink's what it was. And then I had this stupid coin in there. So I eventually sold Link, and I had a little ETH in there. And luckily, the XRP was not on Ethereum chain. So I tried to send that coin, that Vamos coin, off of my ledger through MetaMask. And when I did that, it let them clear out all of my ETH. And if I had left the chain link in there, it would have cleared that out. So I stopped using that ledger. I sent the XRP off, but just me sending that scam coin off of the ledger if I had my entire wallet in there, it would have been gone. So there's so many. Yeah, Mobius, exactly. It's crazy that you can't filter them out. So if you get sick of one and you're just like, I'm going to send it off, do not ever do that. It can result in your wallet being nuked.
If you don't know, don't click it. That's a pretty safe.
exactly. And just leave it there. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
Good finesse. Any reason in particular, so many people using Coinbase over Bitstamp. Honestly, my guess would be that the software on Bitstamp is so clunky and it's so hard to navigate for older people that I have a lot of older clients, and I'm in New York, and we don't have BitTrue, we don't have Kraken, Voyager, so it's Bitstamp, Gemini, Coinbase, and I recommend everybody Bitstamp first, and then Gemini, then Coinbase. But it seems like it's the software, or I don't know, the name Bitstamp just freaks people out, but I don't know why people go to Coinbase. It must be some maybe advertising. I don't. I wish I knew Bitfinesse, but it sucks. The app, they need a new platform. I think maybe that would help. But I mean, Coinbase is they're the worst. They're
Listening.
criminals.
I love it. Well, that's good. I mean, that's great feedback for them too. If anybody would have,
Yeah, exactly. If you don't know what the coin is, at least look it up on Etherscan or Binance Scan and see. You'll be able to see, like, if it's a scam coin, 100,000 will be sent out to every address. The same amount just constantly sent out. You can tell, but just always look. And then yeah, the other things too are the Elon Musk live feeds or the Brad Garlinghouse Ripple live feeds on YouTube. There's like 6 or 7 of them always going, and they want you to send the Bitcoin in or whatever the hell it is. Send this in, and we'll give you 10 more.
Yeah.
And they're still running, and people are still falling for them.
Yeah. That's somebody on Twitch. East Nerf said, "Send me some ETH. I'll give you a 200% return." Don't return. Do not respond to them if they're reaching out to you and saying that they want to give you a 200% return. Like, who on earth opens it and says, "Oh, Publishers Clearinghouse, you're back again. Thank you." Just confused. But yeah, thank you guys, everybody, for showing up in chat tonight. I have to we have to save some excitement for Tuesday night, and we're going to be talking about staking and more opportunities coming up and giving a little bit more information.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely talk about that and kind of how being a hex for a couple years and being staked and just observing from afar of people that trade and other people that literally don't even know what crypto is but buy it because I tell them to, and they are just crushing it, just being hodlers. So yeah, you can do better trading and trying to time the market, but do you want the stress of it? I mean, there's a trade-off. So yeah, I think what'll be
That's how you do that. You save the guys falling for send me 200 ETH for massive gains. You save those by bringing them into the Hexkin community and showing them what their 200 ETH would have done for them if they put it into Hex. And it happens really when we've done it. It happens pretty quick too.
yeah, seriously. So yeah, well, on Tuesday we'll definitely we'll talk about some strategies, ways to look at um, some new alts that and not I hate saying alts, but projects that have some cool utility, cool partnerships, and also staking opportunities, which are what we really look for. I mean, if there's 2 coins that are similar market cap, team, everything, if one has staking, the other doesn't, I'm going with the staking all day. Mobius, go to 1inch or matcha.xyz. I'm pretty sure those are the 2 best for limit orders for Hex.
Oh, I can't wait to talk more about limit orders on Tuesday too. Little sneak peek into my trust.
Yeah, I know that's going to be amazing. What's coming?
Well, you guys will have to tune in for more of that information from us on Tuesday. Are we all? I think we're all covered here tonight. We gave it some really good. You gave us some serious knowledge bombs. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, if I made the mistakes, I mean, why not share them? I mean, it could take one person from doing it. I mean, I got sick of looking at a coin in my ledger lot, so I sent it out because I was sick of looking at it. I mean, you do dumb shit, it happens, and you know,
Well, don't be so hard on yourself. Thank you for being a not DS, but thank you for being diligent and not doing your homework and showing us a better way to do things so that we can forge forward safely or safer.
yeah, you're welcome. And yeah, Mobius. If that's the case, yeah, you gotta be. I mean, I would honestly, if it's worth it, for the VPN, honestly, for the security. But if not, just use Matcha. Bit finesse. This came from the Hex conference that in March. Maddie put out there March 6th and 9th. But these pins were one of the Hexicans was like selling them at the entrance. So had to represent the Pulse X and Pulse chain too. So it's not part of the hat. I just kind of stuck them on there. But I do have a couple extra of them. I know I'm giving one to Hex Machina so we could have matching hats for a stream. But if you want one, man, I'll mail you one for real. Message me on Twitter. I literally have 5 extra ones. We grabbed a stack of them when we were walking out. Shout out Teddy. I'm sure he's not watching, but Teddy ran the event out there and is a great Hexican.
Teddy seriously missed his calling as an event coordinator because he kicked some serious butt in Albany too. We could not have done it without him. So many thanks to him for that. It's at Vibra Finance. It's our Twitter handle.
Yeah, or Lindsay the Hexican. You can just message her, and I will gladly ship you out one of these Pulse chain hats. No pins though, just the hat.
Yeah, the pins kind of scratch your head a little bit, so you lucked out on that one.
Yeah, Mobius. I'll see how many I have. I think I have a Pulse X one too. I'll look. I don't know if I have 3 of the Pulse chain ones left because I promised Hex Machina one at Bit Finesse. But if I do, I will. I'll let you know. But I know. What was the black one? Was it Pulse X? The other one we got? Can you remember?
It was part of the theme where it started with Hex on the shirt, and then it went to Pulse chain on the hat, and then
yeah. That's right.
I believe that's how it went.
So it is. It's a Pulse X.
It was cool.
Yeah. Message me on Twitter, Mobius too, and I'll take a picture for you of it. And
see if you want it.
Too, yeah. I remember I literally took them from the conference. I was like, I'm gonna bring these home so we can give them to people. And I mean, here we go. I mean, this is literally why I grabbed them.
Yep. You're so thoughtful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, I guess we're ready to wrap up here. Thank you guys so much for being here with us tonight. Please tune in with us on Tuesday. We'll be covering some tips and strategies on how to expand, diversify your portfolio, maybe some opinions, maybe some entertainment, maybe some education.
Definitely not financial advice.
Not here.
100% not. All right, guys. Thank you, guys. Appreciate all the support. It's hard trying to start a new channel, so we're doing our best. If there's anything we could do or suggestions, we are all ears.
Heck yeah, hit me up. I do better, be better. Rising tide floats all boats. That's what we're here for. We want to hear from you. Questions, answers, both ways.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys, and we will see y'all on Tuesday.
Good night.